Hello there, and welcome to Daniel's Infinite Playlist, and welcome to the classic album reviews section, where we basically talk about albums that have been released in the past. So today we're going to talk about a real classic of the dream pop genre, which wasn't a very well regarded album at first when it first got released, but now it's been regarded as one of the absolute classics of the era and also of the genre. And I'm talking, of course, about the album from Julee Cruise, Floating into the Night, that was released in 1989. And for those of you who don't know who Julee Cruise is, well, Julee Cruise is a singer mainly known for her music that has been included in various David Lynch projects, namely Blue Velvet and also Twin Peaks. I think you guys have seen the series Twin Peaks. If you haven't, then I really do recommend you seeing at least the first season. And also one of the many things that drew the people to the series was also the music that was composed mainly by Angelo Badalamenti, and the lyrics are also written by David Lynch. Anyways, how is it to listen to this album? Well, it's a bit like this. Alright. I'm going to show you the CD boxing. I've got it here. I actually bought it used from discogs.com. You can find this album almost everywhere, like in physical format. And you see like the album cover, it's very anonymous. I think that's a blow-up doll, I don't know. But I think it's just very ominous and, it's very beautiful. I think it has to do with the name, Floating into the Night. And then, it's like the basic album insert fare, you see like all the lyrics, and also the credits, and also some thanks on the back here. So yeah, now back to the actual review. Well, how is this album musically? Well, when they first actually started recording this album, and I have to also mention that Badalamenti had actually been working with Julee Cruise in one of his theater workshops, I think. And he actually recommended Julee Cruise to sing a song in Blue Velvet, which actually turned into the song Mysteries of Love, which is also a song in the album. And they said that they wanted to make something like the aesthetic of the album to sound very sad and ethereal, but also kind of hopeful and naive mostly. And it's so funny because Julee Cruise actually was a more of a powerhouse singer. She used a lot of her anger and emotions when she sang. But David Lynch saw a more softer side to her voice and told her to actually use that more. So she did that, but she couldn't really hear the result until they actually finished mastering the songs, and then they added a ton of digital reverb. So most of the reverb you hear in the album, especially from the vocals themselves, actually use digital production techniques, which is, well, I think it's pretty cool because I think it sounds very ethereal and very shiny and very how do you say, unnerving in some points in the album as well. And the album is also a very, like a blend between dream pop and also some jazz elements. There are like a lot of jazz elements, and I think it has to do with Angelo Badalamenti, who blended all of these works, like the music and everything, into one beautiful mix. So, lyrics. Well, as you see, the music was composed by Angelo Badalamenti and the lyrics were written by David Lynch. And there has been a ton of speculation about the lyrics and, like the themes, like, for example, the song Falling, and how it has to do with, like the the Laura Palmer case in Twin Peaks. I mean, there's a lot of fan speculation that says that this album is kind of like a continuation of some sort, like a spiritual, how do you say, presence on the whole series, and I think that's kind of right, but more not about the Twin Peaks series and more about how they actually are. Well, I think the lyrics are actually super beautiful. They're very simple and very, how do you say, touching. They're romantic, and they're also very, very sad. And the most common theme in this album is the topic of loneliness, and to carry heartbreak, and to just be alone. And I really find that a very touching in so many ways. It's a very lonely and beautiful album, but I mean, it also has like some sparks of hope, like like how love can be and all of that, and those parts are also beautiful, and they offer a perfect juxtaposition to like the more like the sadder moments. And yeah, that's all that. So what do I give this album? Well, I give it a 9 out of 10. It is a amazing album, and I just can't believe that this album was actually kind of hated first. Like, when Julee Cruise actually showed the music to her family, they actually hated it. Like, they couldn't understand what she was singing and all of that, and that just goes to show how much of a visionary this album was. Like, it was ahead of its own time, because now people are appreciating this as a work of art, and even Pitchfork has included this album as one of the more essential albums of the 90s, I think, that you have to listen to. And I think it is also a very essential album that you have to listen to if you want to appreciate the dream pop sounds, and also because of its special take on the dream pop sound as well, because it blends in a lot of jazz elements, and it's very quirky, it's very endearing, and it's very beautiful. It manages to radiate all of these feelings, and you can see that this is actually a project of love from both Angelo Badalamenti, David Lynch, and the singer, of course, Julee Cruise, who's the main character in this project. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this, then please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. As always, I'm going to put the artist links down below. Julee Cruise, I think, is available everywhere: iTunes, Spotify. There are no Bandcamps, but you can buy the album on the internet everywhere, like Amazon and all of that, for you guys that want a physical version of the album. And as always, I'm going to review new albums every Wednesday and classic albums every Saturday. So yeah, that's it for me. Thank you so much, and enjoy music, enjoy life, people. Vi ses! Hejdå!